Welcome back to Pride, Passion, and Power. As you would expect, here at the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield, they pay homage to John Wooden's famous championship dynasty at UCLA. But the Bruins have had only one national title in women's basketball. It came back in 1978 when they were led by Ann Myers and Anita Ortega. Ironically, perhaps, the All-America guard who paced that squad in steals went on to pursue a career in law enforcement. And as we see in this Where Are They Now update, Captain Ortega, not only the commanding officer of the juvenile division of the LAPD, she's also the inspiration for the John Curie novel, Taking It Back.
I grew up in South Central LA. My mom is African American, my father is Puerto Rican. I have a younger brother and sister. And we grew up near USC at 22nd and Hoover and lived in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment from the age of 8 to 22. The area really wasn't as safe as it could be. And somehow I found a basketball, and that was my escape. I was the only female, and it was very difficult for me to convince the guys to let me play.
These guys are going to be tough. I mean, really tough on a woman especially. And she took all of her bruises and, you know, what have you, and she just stayed in there and kept playing and kept fighting. And she learned the game from the ground up.
If I didn't step up and take control and step up and drive to the basket or take a shot in someone's face, you know, I would have no respect.
We didn't take it easy on her, but just her discipline and, you know, she's very, very competitive. And I think that's, you know, served her well, particularly, you know, in law enforcement, her career with LAPD.
Tobin Park, wow. This is where Anita became Anita on the basketball court.
Her 6th grade teacher had gone to UCLA, was a Bruin. And Anita, 6th grade, didn't know anything about UCLA. She didn't know about Bruins. She didn't even know what college was. And she used to pass this teacher's blue Volkswagen every day going into class, and she saw the sticker on the back bumper saying the Bruins, and she didn't know what it was. And finally one day she said to her teacher, what does that mean? And the teacher looked at her and said, well, that's UCLA, the Bruins. That's where I went to school. And you, Anita, you can go to that school. And if you go to that school, you can do anything you want. And when you stop and think about that, maybe it's that conversation, 6th grade, that sparked the whole thing.
I believe that athletics really was a savior for me. It was an outlet for me. It was an escape for me. Some of the things that I encountered as a kid, growing up in a neighborhood where I know friends that have died, and it's very, very sad. And it was a way for me to escape from what I was seeing.
How's everything going? Everything okay?
Yes.
Yeah. And you know what I'm going to ask, right?
No.
One of you know what I'm going to ask. Who knows what I'm going to ask? What am I going to ask? Yeah, there you go.
Most people don't like working juvenile division because you see the worst of the worst. You know, you see homicides. We deal with homicides, and most people don't want to do this job. They say, I can't see how you can do it for so long. Because it takes a lot out of you. It drains you, especially if you're a parent yourself.
Anyone that needs help, you know, she's willing to mentor anyone who needs that, whether it's athletics, professional, personal. She's the best. And I don't say that to sound corny, but she's just a sincere, caring person that has gotten the best out of all of her ability.
We have to communicate with them to make them understand that if we don't help our youth today, tomorrow is going to be very tragic.
If we're not working together as a team, then we're not here to help these kids, because these kids need us to operate as a team so that we can, you know, help them.
How you doing? You all right? How you been to school? No bill? Yeah? What grade are you in? Yeah? Good grades? Or kind of?
Basketball will always be a big part of my life. I owe so much to basketball. In some form or fashion, I'm going to continue to contribute not only to basketball, but to athletics and to youth, because I believe that athletics is a way that children can stay focused in their lives and obtain their goals. And I started officiating about 13 years ago, and I've loved every minute of it because it gives me that same adrenaline rush that I had as a player, that same excitement. And again, to me, it's my way of giving back to a sport that gave so much to me.
I don't know if the kids really understand the hard work and dedication that it takes to get to that point. I think sometimes they may see the athletes or someone like Anita, and they think, oh, she has a high rank, she's an official, and they think that that happened very easily, and that's not the case.
Now back in the